Today, Baba is talking about the signs of those children who have full faith in this godly mission. Now, you see that many a times you see those children who are swayed by Maya or eaten up by Maya, and time and again in this Brahmin life, you will come across those children who at one time belonged to Baba, and now they are, they don't even identify themselves as BKs. And then you wonder, why is it that somebody, somebody read the Murli, listened to the Murli. There are some who were getting up at Amrit Vela also and doing service also, and still, how could they be defeated by Maya? And the reason is the intellect was not, the intellect didn't change from a stone intellect to a divine intellect. And why did this happen? Because usually we think that listening to Murli, having yoga with Baba, and doing seva, these are the methods to, change the intellect from stone intellect to divine intellect. But the one thing that we miss is the question of faith. So, you may be listening to the Murli, you may be remembering Baba, you may be doing seva, but you could be doing it very, just as a practice. And there could be no faith, no foundation of faith. So, you're listening to the Murli, but you're listening to the Murli, not Baba's Murli. So, what is in the Murli today? But Baba, what is Baba trying to tell me today? What do I have to imbibe today? That attitude is missing. And you may be doing everything as a routine, but that routine is not going to change your intellect if there is not the foundation of faith. And how it is very difficult to, it is not possible for somebody to discern how much faith they have, because you ask anybody, any BK, do you have faith that Baba is teaching you, and Baba is the one who is going to take you to the new world, and it is this study and practice that's going to take you to the new world? Then they would say, yes, 100%, I have full faith in it. And so everyone would say that I have full faith in this godly mission. What is the godly mission? The godly mission is that God is teaching us to change us from human to deities. And if we just stayed on the path, if we just held Baba's hand, so Baba is the boatman and Baba is taking us across, and if I am the boat, and if I just kept, my control, gave my control to Baba, or I allowed Baba to command me at every step, I surrendered completely with my intellect, then I would go to the new world and have a life of happiness, peace, and prosperity. That is the godly mission. Now, how do you discern whether you have full faith or not? What are the signs of those children who have full faith in the godly mission? So the first sign, so Baba, this is a very important thing because, most, I have always been thinking about this question, that how do you check whether you have faith or not? Because, technically everybody thinks, yes, I have faith. That's why I'm, getting up at Amrit Vela. That's why I'm listening to the Murli. But do I have faith? And how do I check that? Because you see, I remember there was this one brother, and he used to come for the course at 5 in the morning, and he had given me a special request, and I used to conduct the course for him at 5 in the morning. And because he was into some job and he couldn't manage his time, so he used to wake up at so early in the morning at 5 and come. And then whatever you said, he used to do. So when I told him wake up at 4 and remember Baba, he used to do that, and come for the Murli, and attend daily classes. He used to do that. Seva also he used to do. But after 6 months, he just disappeared. And then it got me thinking, what was missing there? And then after some time, when I talked to him, I figured out that he was just doing it as spiritual practice. He just liked the idea of being disciplined and doing some spiritual practice, and there was no understanding of Baba. There was no understanding and faith of a new world. And he couldn't understand that this is Baba has come from this whole world, and Baba is doing this task, and he's changing us from humans to deities, and that had not entered his intellect. And that's why, although he did everything, still that power was not, he couldn't draw that power. And until and unless you draw that power from Baba by having faith, full faith in Baba, Baba's knowledge, the attainments from Baba, then your intellect doesn't shift from a stone intellect to a divine intellect. And a stone intellect is always susceptible to Maya's attack, because a stone intellect cannot discern Maya. A stone intellect will get caught up in right and wrong. So, a stone intellect will get influenced by what somebody says or some situation, and it will get caught up in this language of this should happen, this shouldn't happen, and this is wrong and this is right. And then, they just leave. So Baba says that how do you check whether you really have faith in this godly mission? And if you don't have the foundation of faith, there is a reason why faith is called the foundation. Because if the foundation is weak, then you may construct a 50-floor building, but you cannot guarantee that it will not collapse in the slightest shaking of the earth. So that is the thing about foundation, and faith is the foundation. And Baba gives us 5 signs today to check whether we have faith. And the first sign is, are you patient when dealing with praise and defamation? Yes, so you are not here for praise and defamation. If praise and defamation affect you, then that means that you are not doing what you're doing because you have seen Baba and you've understood the godly mission, but you're doing it because of praise and defamation. So so let's say one thing. So let's say if you're doing, if you are attending classes and somebody is praising you, and you are affected by it, then when they stop praising you or they start criticizing you, then your path, your spiritual journey will get affected. Or even when you are receiving appreciation from the Brahmin family for whatever you are doing, maybe you are doing seva, maybe you are doing some purusharth, and then the Brahmin family or the Nimit soul, they are appreciating you for that, and then you are affected by it. And how do you discern whether you're affected by it? If they don't give it to you, then you don't feel okay. So if somebody is always patting you on the back, then that praise is making you walk on the path, and praise will not last long. Yes, so those same people who are appreciating you today may not appreciate you tomorrow. But you are not doing what you're doing for anybody. You are doing it for yourself. Because Baba has come to make you, change you from a human to a deity. And then second is defamation. So are you affected by defamation? Now, if you're affected by praise, you're affected by defamation. So if in the Lokik family or in the Brahmin family, you receive the opposite of praise, you receive criticism, you receive defamation, and then it affects you. That means that you don't have faith in Baba, you don't have faith in why you're doing what you're doing. And when you have absolute clarity, then you will not be affected by praise and defamation. Now, the interesting thing is, it is very easy to check whether you're affected by criticism and defamation. But it is not easy to check whether you're affected by praise. And that is where you have to do deep checking. I'll tell you one incident where there was this one Mata, and she started coming to the center and understanding Gyan. And then her Yugal, her husband, he also started coming with her after some time. And he would tell her, "You are my guru, and you are the person who guided me on this path, and you are the sensible one. I was an animal. You changed me into, a Brahmin, and this and that." And he would, every day, he would just praise her for being herself. And then one day, the husband started talking ill about Baba's home. And then he started saying that, "Did you see this problem there? And did you see that, those people who are giving more money, they are treated better than those who are giving less money, and this and that." These are the kinds of things that people talk about. And then, "Did you see that yesterday I was trying to sit on the first seat, and then somebody asked me to sit in the back?" And then when he started telling her all of this, then she started getting affected. Why? Because it was his praise, his appreciation, that was a big foundation of why she was in Gyan. But the interesting thing about this knowledge is, and this path is, that it is a very lonely path. Yes, it is a path with Baba. Have you seen that when people go to the biggest mountains, when they climb those biggest mountains, then, when they start out, there is a very big group that starts together climbing the mountain. But then as they progress, many people die on the way, and then there's only one who reaches the top. And then that one has to bear this in mind, that whether somebody comes along or doesn't come along, whether somebody likes me, doesn't like me, appreciates me, doesn't appreciate me, defames me very, in a very concrete way. I'm on this path because I have recognized Baba, and I have to become a deity. And if you have faith in that, then these little things about praise and defamation will not affect you. But if the foundation is not strong, then you will get affected by these things. And Baba says this is one sign. So, somebody not treating you well within the Brahmin family doesn't mean you will leave Baba. You are not here to get treated well by that one person or that group of people. So, you are here to claim your inheritance from Shiv Baba. And let me tell you that if you are willing to hold Baba's hand and walk, then Baba is always there to hold your hand and take across. And Baba is not, you may be waiting for other people to appreciate you, but Baba is not waiting for anybody. If you just rely on Baba, Baba will take you across. And I will tell you from my experience of working in the world and living in Lokik families, one thing I have understood very well, and that is, a very interesting form of control is praise and defamation. So if you can condition somebody to be affected by praise and defamation, then you can control them. And any human being, when they try to control you, they will make you vicious. And I will tell you one thing. So when I was little, there was this one family member, and whenever I used to not do what she said, what she would do is she would make me sit in a corner, and then she would treat my other brothers and sisters with ice creams and chocolates, and she would make me know that this is my punishment for being disobedient to her. And then one day I told my father that this happens, and then my father said that if you believe that you stood up for something that was right, then you did not do what you didn't want to do, then don't care about the chocolates and ice creams, and then I will give you the chocolates and ice creams. And then that day that was my first lesson in understanding that power and control happen through praise and defamation. So when somebody wants to control you, so they will tell you that if you want my praise and if you don't want to be defamed, then you just do as I say. And this happens everywhere. This happens in Lokik family. This happens in Alokik family. This happens everywhere. And because, the old structures don't collapse that easily. So this power and control will always be there. And if you are if you are under somebody's control, then you're definitely not under Baba's control. Then that person's dictates will override Baba's dictates. So this is why Baba says that those who have full faith will not be affected by praise and defamation. They will be able to check for themselves whether what I am doing is on Shrimat or not on Shrimat, and they will be able to stick to what makes sense to them, what is the right thing to do according to Shrimat, despite Maya bringing in these, these storms or attacks of praise and defamation. So this is one sign of a person who has faith in godly mission. Then second sign is they never get angry, because they know that somebody who has to become a deity cannot become angry. Anger is not the law of heaven. So you don't want to create any sanskar which is not going to serve you in heaven. So whatever happens, you don't get angry, because lust and anger, they are the two big ones, and they are connected. So if you have anger, you have lust also. Kameshu krodeshu. So that's why anger is a very prominent sign of how pure you have become. And if you're getting angry, that means that you don't have your eye on your objective of becoming a deity. And anybody who has anger can be very easily deceived by Maya. So, if you have anger inside you, then Maya can trigger any kind of body consciousness and make you angry, and then make you commit, make you speak violently, act violently, and then all the earning spiritual credit that you accumulated will go away. So if you are planning to become a deity, then you should be very wary of this one thing called anger, and you should take it up as a personal challenge that nothing can make me angry. So, whatever happens, whatever somebody does, whether there is gain, loss, whatever, whether somebody insults you or praises you or whatever, you never get angry. That is something that you have to ensure if you have faith in the godly mission. And Baba always says, Baba refers to as sweet children. So we are sweet children. Our sign is sweetness. If you have anger in you, you are not Baba's child. And if you're not Baba's child, then you cannot take up the inheritance that Baba is giving you. And I have seen children of Baba who have many sanskars but no anger. And I've seen many such Baba's children. And this is a very good sign of those who are on this godly mission. And if you are, it is something that I have felt very deeply, that if you have anger, then Maya can trigger you at any step. A person who has anger is like a horse. Baba says there are Maharathis and there are horse riders, and then there are the what do you say, the people who walk on foot soldiers in the war. And those who have anger are like horse riders. They are very passionate about this gyan and spirituality, but then some attack of body consciousness, and then they get angry or they get upset, and then they just turn their heads and move in the other direction. And that is a sign that you don't have full faith in Baba. So if you have, so they never get angry. Then third thing is, they do not look at anybody with body conscious vision. So if you have full faith in godly mission, then you have worked on your drishti. And if your vision is body conscious, then somebody's behavior, somebody's words, something will influence you. And body consciousness is the door to Maya. So Maya will use that body conscious vision of yours to attack you. So always know that you are talking to the soul, and it is the soul that's operating through the body. And if if there is something that is not proper about the words and behaviors that they are engaging in, then also it's just because the soul is under the influence of sanskars. And you just look at them as as the soul that Baba sees. So when Baba looks at us, Baba looks at us as, souls who are number wise. So Baba doesn't look at us as just souls, but Baba uses this word number wise. And Baba has an awareness that everybody is a soul and everybody is on their return journey, but we are all number wise. And when we also have soul conscious vision, then we see the soul and we know that every soul is number wise, so we don't mind their behaviors and words. And when you see somebody doing something which you wouldn't do, or which you wouldn't expect somebody to do, then you just understand that this soul is not who you expected them to be. That's it. So you just recalculate your expectations and you never get disappointed or upset. And body consciousness deceives you very badly. If you look at the role, position, name, and you perceive somebody in that light, then that's going to deceive you. So, Maya deceives us through two ways, through body consciousness. So one is when you underestimate somebody because you're body conscious. And second is when you overestimate somebody because you're body conscious. I don't know whether you understand this, but this is a very interesting way in which Maya works. So if somebody is, very educated or in a big position, or they conduct themselves, in a certain manner and they speak a certain way, then you have over expectations from them. And then when they start behaving otherwise, then you lose faith in Baba because you overestimated them, and then you think that you look at them as, you associate them with Baba. And then when they fall down that pedestal, then you lose faith in Baba also. So you just know that everybody is a soul and they are on their journey, and you don't judge anybody. If somebody is not doing well today, they can do well tomorrow, because every soul is on a journey, and where they are today, that can change tomorrow. And even if somebody is holding a certain duty, a responsibility, or being in a position, don't get very influenced by that. Just look at them as souls who are on a journey. And Baba always says that the rosary is not yet ready. So those who are seemingly, up or down the rosary right now, they could change their position very fast tomorrow. So this is why, be soul conscious. Look at the beads. Don't judge them by their external appearance or their external position and external status. So this is one thing. Then they see others as souls and speak to others while considering themselves to be souls. And considering yourself to be a soul is the most important. So do you consider yourself to be a soul? What is considering yourself to be a soul? So when you consider yourself to be a soul, then you remember some things about yourself, that how I behave has got nothing to do with my circumstances, or whether somebody cooperates with me or doesn't cooperate with me. So one thing about body conscious programming is that body consciousness tells you you are a product of your circumstances. So have you seen that people always blame their circumstances for their behavior? And in the body conscious world, this is a very rampant thing. So everybody says that we are a product of our circumstances. But soul consciousness tells you that you are the soul, you are doing everything through the body, and you have your whole part recorded in you. So you playing your part has got nothing to do with the context in which you're playing it. So whether the scene is favorable or not favorable, whether the body is sick or healthy, or whether somebody is cooperating or not cooperating, it has got nothing to do with you playing your part well, because you are just playing your part which is ingrained in you, and that which you play every cycle, and it has got nothing to do with these external factors. And only when you consider yourself to be a soul, and you emerge your knowledgeful, peaceful, powerful, loveful, pure stage, then when you act on this stage, then your act is accurate, and the other person who you are acting with, the co-actor also, they are in sync with you. You are able to come in harmony with them. But if you are body conscious, then they are also not able to discern who you are and that they don't have authority over you. So this is the thing about those. This is the quality or the indicator of those souls who have who recognize godly mission. And godly mission is that I, the soul, will anyways go to heaven because Baba has come to take me if I just hold Baba's hand and walk on the path that Baba is showing me. Then the fifth sign is, while living together, husband and wife remain like lotus flower. And how can you remain like lotus flower while living in the family? Only when you are soul conscious. So when you understand that this is not the husband, this is the soul playing the role of a husband, and this is the soul playing the role of a wife, and you don't see them as my husband and my wife, then you can live like a lotus. Living like a lotus is you live in the family but without vices. So that is the sign of somebody who has faith in the godly mission. I have seen many Baba's children, even after many years of listening to the Murli and seemingly being on the path, they are not able to live in the family like a lotus. And they always say that, there are pulls within the family, and many BKs, they use this language, we are grihasthis. So what should we do in this situation and that situation? But you cannot be a yogi when you think you are a grihasthi. So Baba says you have to tune into soul consciousness and know that you are a Brahmin. You are being sustained by Baba. You are not a grihasthi. You are just living in the context of a grihasth, and every Brahmin is living in the context of some grihasth. No Brahmin is living on an island alone. So everybody has to, live with somebody. So we are all just living in some context, but that doesn't make me a grihasthi. So I'm a Brahmin, I'm being sustained by Baba, and I am just on this path of changing from a human to a deity, and I am playing this part in this context. That is it. And then Baba says they never have any type of desire, because the one who has complete faith that right now at this point of time, I have all the treasures that Baba is giving me, and tomorrow I'm going to have, even physically, what do you say? All the coffers will be full of treasures. So Baba says your bhandara will be full of treasures. So if you have this realization that right now you have the biggest treasure, the spiritual treasure. So in Kali Yuga, material treasure is not that big. Even the richest one is bowing down before God. For what? For peace, for happiness. So you have that peace and happiness, you have that faith and trust, you have that hope, you have that sense of security, which even the richest don't have. So that's why there is no desire in this life. And then you know that tomorrow you're going to be go to a world where there will be nothing unattained. Materially, spiritually, you will be full in every way. So when you are in that, you have that faith that right now I have the biggest treasure that Baba has come to give, which the whole world is praying for, and tomorrow I'm going to be the master of the world. Then you don't have, then you're not drawn towards any physical desires in this world. So if you have these 5 signs, then you are a it can be said that you have full faith in Baba and Baba's mission. Otherwise, you have to check your faith. So you may be doing everything, but the foundation of faith is not strong. So these are the things that Baba tells us today. Om Shanti. Anybody wants to share anything, please do.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Today what I understood from Murli is that Baba is our father. Even our Lokik father also expects this much from his children, that they may not do certain things which defames the name of father and family, and be a good example and obedient children. And father has natural love for these types of children, and even if one child cannot do this, then also he never hates his children, but he motivates, see your brothers and sisters how they are doing this, you can do this. And with this only emotions is bhakti, I think, again. Even after coming in Gyan, layers of bhakti are slowly removed by Baba, day by day. And we come to the conclusion what we have to do right now. Not only emotions will work here. And if we have love for him, we are honest with him, we will be able to do that one day.
Correct. So when we talk about bhakti is more bhavana and less action.
Yes.
And when we bring that balance between bhavana and gyan, so Baba says, have sneh yukt bhavana and gyan yukt karma. So that is where you have to strike the balance. So finishing bhakti doesn't mean, finishing your love for Baba, because a very beautiful aspect of bhakti is love for Baba. And if we have done 63 births of bhakti, only then we have love for Baba. And that's a very good quality from bhakti that we have. But just make it a little gyan yukt, that, we have to also act according to gyan. Okay, thank you. Om Shanti.
One more thing, Didi, I wanted to share.
Hanji.
I understand Baba's knowledge and emotions, I think so, a little bit, and I also try to work on my senses. But sometimes I think from Amrit Vela till now, class ending, I am very fine to follow all the protocols, But when I come to work, I don't know, it's a little stress problem or whatever. I again go in alag road, and then I think I will try tomorrow again from the starting of the day, and pull it how many hours I can take it. But sometimes I think it's working like some suppression or what.
So you see, first thing is you don't have to wait for the next day. Whenever you check that your yoga was, your connection was lost, you just bring it back then and there, and don't aim for perfection. Just persevere. Yes. So this aim for perfection, it leads to disappointment, that I failed. No, you didn't fail. You just slipped and then you got back. That's fine. Second thing is, when you come into work, then you become karma conscious. Yes, so that is of course there. We become body conscious, we become karma conscious, and then the only method is, as soon as you detect it, come back to soul consciousness. So don't judge yourself for becoming karma conscious. Don't feel that, don't get disheartened. Don't feel that, you failed or something. Where you just, whenever you are able to check it, then come back to being soul conscious. That's it. Okay. Be very sweet, be very loveful to yourself. Don't be harsh on yourself.
I am in awareness, Didi, of knowledge and Baba, and I think, how can I do this when I am in awareness?
Yeah, so that how can I do it? Don't say that, because you have to be just like, if I tell somebody, how can you do this? That's not being loveful, right? So I have to be loveful to myself also. All right.
Yes.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Anybody else would like to share anything? No, that's it. So today there is Bab Dada Milan, and spend the day in silence, keep churning Baba's Murli, and then 5 in the evening there'll be Suraj Bhaiji's class, and then from 6:15 to 6:30 there'll be bhog offered to Baba, and then 6:30 Bab Dada Milan up to approximately 8. So have your day planned in such a way that 5 to 8 you are able to meet Baba. We will be sharing the Bab Dada Milan on Zoom. So join there and have Bab Dada Milan. Om Shanti.